Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over at the Bargain Gun Range. I decided we'd do a little video on something that, I don't know, several people are fascinated about and they like to fool with, and that is the Bubba gun. Now, what is a Bubba gun? A Bubba gun is one of these guys, okay? Basically a snake charmer-ish single shot 12, 20, 410 gauge shotgun. This particular one belongs to my cousin. This is a 20 gauge. Now, how do we get there? First of all, we got to get there legally. So what do we have to have? We have to have 26 inches overall, okay? That's the limit, 26 inches overall for a shotgun. We have to have an 18-inch barrel unless we've got a tax stamp on it. Okay, so if you made it into went and got you a Form 1 and created an AOW or something like that, and it cost you $200 for the tax stamp, you know, and you got all your paperwork back, then you could, and you got your tax stamp back, and you cut this thing off as short as you wanted, whatever it says on the form. Whatever it says on the form, you can do. Okay, now, without that, you've got to have the thing's got to be 26 inches overall and with an 18-inch barrel. So if you cut one of these guys off yourself, here's what you're going to have to do. I would make the barrel 18 1/4 at the very minimum, okay? And then I would make the gun overall length about 27 inches. And that's what this one is. Okay, so it's good and legal, but you still got a good Bubba gun that you can use. Now, what's the advantage to having a Bubba gun? Well, first of all, the Bubba gun is tremendous, I mean tremendous close range firepower. It delivers tremendous close range firepower. And it's kind of a handful, especially in a 12 gauge. Now this one's done, this is an old single shot shotgun that my cousin got, and the guy had done some carving on the stock, and he, you know, tried to put some checkering on it. It looks like I actually put some work into it, but you know, it's obviously homemade, you know. So that kind of kills the value of that gun, even as a single shot shotgun. So he decided, you know, that'd make a good Bubba gun. So he brought it over to the house and we worked on it and made it into a Bubba gun. 20 gauge, not too much to pack, not too much to shoot, something you can put in the truck, you know, and just have. H&R is safe to store loaded, you know, and you just take that guy and you got it loaded. It's just, you just throw it in the truck, stick it in there, put it behind something, hang it on the tractor, you know, and if you have a close range thread or something that needs to be bumped off, copperhead, a coyote or something like that, you can just take that guy and throw it out there and let him have it, you know. Pretty simple. Now, that's the advantage of the Bubba gun. It's tremendous close range firepower. The disadvantage to it is it only shoots once, okay? Now, you got this one. I've got another 20 over here that belongs to one of our neighbors out here. It's basically the same thing, and I measured this before I put it on camera, and it's legal, you know, and it's got some spray paint on it. I've got one that's spray painted as well. It's a lot cheaper than having the gun reblued, you know, and it's all rusty and nasty and keeps it from getting any worse. It's a pretty good little Bubba gun, works just like that one. You know, you got a nice little 20 gauge package. I did this one. Now this is a variation on the Bubba gun. This is basically a youthy poothy gun. You know, this is basically a little bit longer variation to where you've actually got something you can shoulder and fire that way. And the barrel on this one is 19 inches. And it's just tremendously rusty when I got it, and I cleaned it up, and it didn't have any bluing left on it after I got done with it, you know. So I decided to make me a A little bit longer barrel. So you've actually got a little stock action going. You know, and that's not too bad either. Still short enough you can put it on your four-wheeler. Still short enough you can carry it around pickup truck, but ain't trouble. You know. Of course, everybody's seen this one, the little 410 that I made, and I refinished the stock and, you know, made the butt plate fit on it. And this one is about, oh, I don't know, it's about 29 inches overall. And it's still got enough stock on it that you could actually pull it up there and bead something up with it and shoot it. And that's probably, if you're going to do one, that's probably the way to do it right there like this. You know, where you've got a little bit more stock on it and you can actually shoulder it. And you can also use it to teach the kids to shoot a shotgun, you know, that sort of thing. Now, 12 gauge. 12 gauge. This is the Wile Coyote gun. When I bought this gun from Papa's Pond in Lexington, it had already been cut off. And fortunately, it had been cut off legal. So it was about just almost 19 inches long. I decided to leave it that way. It didn't have a stock on it. So I found something that I could fit on there and make a stock. And basically, at the time, put it on there with friction tape so it'd stay. This is pretty sad looking, but you know, it's a Bubba gun. It does work, good thing about it. This is a Acme Destroyer. Bought this gun from Wile Coyote, you know. The Wile Coyote auction. It's just a big old rough single shot shotgun. I believe I paid $10 for it, what there was of it, and then I kind of fixed it up and made me a little Bubba gun. At the time I was living up in Anderson County, way out in the sticks, you know, on an old trailer, and coyotes and stuff come around all the time. And the old trailer I lived in, you know, it had a big hole in the floor, and there'd be raccoons and everything else there when I got home, you know, and coyotes, and I just needed me a little Bubba gun to dispatch the varmints with if they got too close, and this is pretty handy. This has tremendous unmanageable recoil, but we've got a thing called mini shell. Now these are the ones from exotic ammunition that you pick up at the gun show. They're actually just a little bit too long to feed through a Mossberg. But you put one of these guys in the old 12 gauge Bubba gun, and the 12 gauge Bubba gun becomes pretty manageable. You know, not bad. They become pretty manageable, and it's still got 15 pellets of number 4 buck in it. And you're not going to get any real range out of one of these things anyway. Okay, it's got no choke in it whatsoever, and but it's just close range firepower. And with the mini shell variant in it, it becomes a fairly manageable and fairly meaningful. I think I hit that steel target down there at 25 yards about 3 times. You know, piece of junk right there. But it works. And last but not least, if you really want to get carried away, give me a couple of mini shells, anything. Take your time, private. You can really get carried away if you got your old, this is my cousin Ed's gun. It's a, it was cut off to begin with, and you know, it didn't shoot very good as a hunting gun. It was cut off like 22, 23 inches. You know, it wasn't much. Somebody tried to make a rabbit gun, a bunny gun out of it, and it just didn't work out for him, I don't think. So we went ahead and made a double barrel Bubba gun for him. And it's okay. It's just a no-name Spanish double barrel in 12 gauge. He put him a little Geico gizmo out here on the end of it. That's pretty comfortable, you know. And you can handle this one pretty good with mini shells in it. You know, not a bad little setup, just to tell you the truth. Not a bad little setup. Cock's on opening. You know. Well, anyway, that's a little primer on the Bubba gun. Sometimes known as a leopard gun, because it makes people look kind of spotty when you shoot with it. It's silly. But that's what you can do with one, and a little brief on the legal issues concerning them, and like that. So get you a good Lofkin tape measure before you go to sawing and make sure everything's right. Well, all right then. Measure twice, cut once. We'll see y'all. Turn that guy off right there.